This is Softeller Tech Briefs. Today we're looking at how to hire Python developers, from defining what you need before you start recruiting, through screening and interviews, to choosing between in-house, freelance, and dedicated team models, and keeping strong talent once they're on board. Software development sits at the center of digital innovation across modern industries. Among the technologies driving that innovation, Python stands out for its versatility, from data analysis and machine learning to web development and blockchain. What makes Python so attractive to businesses comes down to its clean syntax, extensive libraries, and robust frameworks. Together, those qualities help teams move faster, collaborate more easily, and build applications that are easier to maintain, especially when you're working with Python developers who are experienced in modern tooling. Python's reputation as an in-demand language is backed by real data. In October 2024, Python surpassed JavaScript to become the most used programming language on GitHub, largely driven by its widespread adoption in AI initiatives across the tech world. That surge in usage has naturally increased demand for professionals skilled in Python and its associated frameworks, like Django and Flask. By 2025, roughly 45.7% of programming job listings were looking for Python developers, the highest share of any language. With demand rising, many enterprises face a practical challenge: how to hire a Python developer and evaluate competent programmers for specific projects. Today, we'll walk through a complete guide to help business owners, HR managers, and chief technology officers find the right talent, whether for a startup launch or business expansion. We'll start with the fundamentals, defining what to look for. What you should know before hiring Python developers. The first thing any company undertaking a Python project needs to do is define the specifications, scope, and timeframe of the project. That preliminary planning, in turn, dictates which Python frameworks and libraries you'll use throughout the work. Once that foundation is in place, the question of in-house personnel, freelancers, or outsourced partners comes into focus. In-house teams tend to fit long-term software development objectives where close coordination matters. External teams often excel at short-term tasks that require less overhead. Another important consideration is matching the right skill level to the work. Some projects can be handled by entry-level coders. Others, especially those involving intricate system architecture or data-centric responsibilities, call for senior Python developers and sometimes an entire group of senior Python programmers. Those roles require deeper knowledge of Python best practices and a thorough understanding of the overall development process. For that reason, it's necessary to bring in professionals with the technical skills your end product needs to meet modern standards. By weighing each project's requirements against applicants' skills, you can sharpen your hiring process and secure the most qualified Python coders for every position on your project. Essential qualities to look for in Python developers. Choosing the right Python engineer takes more than scanning resumes for typical qualifications. Budget, schedules, and industry experience all matter. Whether your goal is building web applications or analyzing large data sets, a defined hiring process that evaluates both hard skills and people skills pays off. On the technical side, candidates should demonstrate strong knowledge and a clear history of handling challenging project tasks. Advanced Python programming is foundational. The ability to write scalable, secure, and efficient code ensures that every Python project meets high-performance standards. Knowledge of Python frameworks and libraries is equally important. Mastery of tools like Django, Flask, and NumPy supports rapid development cycles and smooth integration into existing software environments. Cross-platform and multi-language experience also helps. Developers who know more than one programming language are often better equipped to bridge gaps between different tech stacks. For many projects, API development and integration expertise is critical. Developers who can build and integrate RESTful or GraphQL APIs help ensure seamless data exchange between interconnected solutions across platforms. CI/CD and DevOps experience can accelerate releases, improve stability, and support effective team collaboration during development. Beyond technical knowledge, basic soft skills matter just as much on dynamic development projects. Clear communication is essential. Accurate exchange of technical details supports collaboration among Python experts and seasoned developers. Cooperative problem-solving helps multidisciplinary teams resolve project needs faster. Adaptability toward changing technologies is another key trait. An agile mindset helps developers adjust quickly to evolving project requirements and new trends in software development. Leadership and mentoring ability can be valuable too. Candidates who can guide junior Python programmers and lead teams help foster a culture of continuous improvement. And strategic vision matters when you're hiring for the long term. A forward-thinking developer is more likely to stay aligned with evolving business goals. The most efficient ways to find Python programmers. Whether your firm is launching a major platform or improving existing systems, the Python developers you choose can significantly affect the success of your software initiatives. There are several reliable paths to finding experts who fit both your technical requirements and organizational goals. Job portals like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, and Indeed attract a wide range of talent. But posting a thorough description matters. Spell out what the project needs and the key technical skills required, from Python frameworks to database knowledge. That specificity helps narrow your search and reach candidates who can actually handle your development assignments. Development forums are another source. Experienced developers on platforms like Stack Overflow, GitHub, and Python.org often share knowledge and solve problems in community settings. Monitoring those spaces can surface gifted problem solvers with strong communication skills and deep Python expertise. Conversations there can lead to reliable references or direct hiring opportunities. Freelancing sites such as Upwork or TopTal give businesses quick access to remote experts in web development, machine learning, and other Python disciplines. For short-term assignments or specific deliverables, that approach can be cost-effective. Still, screening matters. Reviewing past work samples and client feedback helps confirm alignment with your business objectives and development approach. Software development agencies offer another route. Working with a leading Python development company gives you access to organized groups of seasoned developers. These companies typically handle project control, quality assurance, and team continuity, which can reduce your administrative load. Agencies can also assign top Python developers quickly for mission-critical projects. Networking remains valuable as well. Local meetups, hackathons, and tech conferences let you meet potential hires in person and assess their drive, flexibility, and collaborative approach, qualities that matter in fast-paced development cycles. Screening and interviewing prospects for Python projects. A comprehensive, disciplined screening approach is what helps ensure you're onboarding competent developers when assembling a Python team. 3 critical steps can help you evaluate both technical ability and cultural fit. Start by reviewing the candidate's portfolio and resume for proof of real Python experience. Look for software development projects that show fundamental skills such as data processing, web frameworks like Django or Flask, or familiarity with data science libraries like NumPy and Pandas. Pay close attention to project scope. Did they build a single feature or complete applications? Prioritize candidates who show consistent professional growth, open source contributions, collaborative projects, advanced certifications, and similar signals. This first pass helps you identify people who not only understand Python, but have a track record of delivering consistent results. Technical assessment can take several forms. Coding tests on platforms like HackerRank and Codility offer standardized questions that test algorithmic thinking, problem-solving, code optimization, and other core skills. They're an efficient way to filter out less qualified candidates early in the process. Take-home assignments let you mirror day-to-day work, for example, creating a simple REST API or writing a data processing script. Evaluate the organization, readability, and efficiency of each solution to see how candidates tackle real-world problems. Live coding interviews are short, interactive exercises that reveal how candidates code and adapt under pressure. Technical skill alone isn't enough to classify an applicant as work-ready. Their ability to collaborate, share ideas, and reflect your company's values matters just as much. Open-ended questions help surface that. For example, asking them to describe a difficult project challenge they overcame and how they worked through it, or how they handled differing opinions among coworkers. Those conversations reveal problem-solving style, conflict resolution, and general adaptability. It's also worth discussing how they stay current with Python. The ecosystem evolves continuously, and employees with up-to-date knowledge are a real asset. Benefits and drawbacks of various hiring strategies. When you're looking for Python engineers, the recruitment model you choose can significantly affect how quickly and successfully you meet project needs. 3 commonly used approaches each come with distinct advantages and trade-offs. In-house developers give you complete oversight. Direct interaction with developers means more control over code quality and development process decisions. Internal team members also know your goals and values, which can strengthen cooperation on complex projects. Over the long term, in-house hiring supports deeper growth in specific Python domains because team members commit to those areas over time. The downsides are real too. Salaries, benefits, and infrastructure can strain smaller companies. Extended recruitment cycles, lengthy interviews, and negotiations to find the best Python developers can slow development. And scaling up or down is harder, since every new hire requires significant onboarding. Freelancing offers flexibility. When project scopes change, adjusting skill sets or workloads is often easier. Payment structures based on hours or milestones can keep staff overheads predictable. Specialist freelancers can also cover quick, short-term needs when workloads spike on larger projects. On the other hand, freelancers may be less dedicated to your mission because they're often juggling multiple clients. Quality management can require more supervision to maintain uniform standards, especially with remote teams. Scheduling conflicts and time zone differences can also affect timely communication. Dedicated teams, often provided through specialist vendors, can scale quickly, which helps on fast-paced software development projects where teams need to grow to accommodate new tasks. The vendor typically manages administration and hiring, freeing you to focus on core business objectives. Senior developers on these teams are often versed in industry-standard techniques, which can reduce the risk of extended timelines and bloated budgets. The trade-offs include the time it takes to validate a suitable partner, potentially higher bundled costs compared with freelancers or in-house hires, and less direct control. External teams may not internalize your culture and processes the way an in-house team would. For short-term projects or specific tasks, a freelancer can be cost-effective. For long-term development, maintenance, and complex projects, a dedicated Python developer or team often delivers better consistency, deeper understanding of your codebase, and ongoing support. Anticipating compensation and hiring costs. To attract skilled Python developers, you need a clear picture of typical compensation benchmarks and the less obvious costs that come with hiring. Recent data from Glassdoor suggests that mid-level Python programmers in the United States typically earn higher salaries than counterparts in Europe and Asia, with machine learning specialists at the upper end of the pay scale. In Europe, compensation is generally lower, but varies with local economic conditions and expertise in specific Python libraries. In Asia, salaries tend to be more competitive given a larger talent pool and regional market factors, with specialization playing a key role in determining earnings. By recruitment model, hiring in-house teams involves substantial upfront investment in infrastructure, benefits, and training. Freelancers offer scalability and cost savings, but quality can vary, especially with time zones and parallel processes that require coordinated management. Outsourcing to specialist groups improves workload management and scalability, but it can mean increased overhead and reduced oversight. Beyond direct costs like salaries and development tools, hidden costs matter too. Onboarding, whether for permanent or temporary staff, diverts resources. Benefits add to staff overhead. And retaining a high-end Python engineer long-term usually requires ongoing opportunities for upskilling. Strategies for retaining top Python talent. Retaining exceptional Python programmers isn't only about paying a high rate. These developers often shape how products are innovated, so they need a working environment that supports engagement, motivation, and long-term commitment. Structured onboarding sets the tone. How effectively a developer performs after joining depends heavily on how well they're welcomed and introduced to company culture and processes. Clear documentation, mentoring, and access to necessary tools help new employees understand technical expectations and acclimate quickly. Specifying objectives and expectations prevents the uncertainty that arises when developers face ambiguous situations. Documenting coding standards, schedules, and quality criteria lets developers tackle deliverables confidently instead of guessing. Growth opportunities matter as well. Many senior Python programmers are drawn to complex tasks, new skill sets, and work on meaningful, innovative projects. Access to advanced training, conference participation, or exposure to new technologies makes it more likely they'll stay. Finally, promoting a team environment helps. Developers often stay committed when they can implement their ideas, receive live feedback from colleagues, and see how their efforts connect to broader project objectives. Closing takeaway. Hiring top-tier Python developers is a strategic investment in your company's future. Understanding your project requirements and budget limits helps you assemble a technical team that works. But building a team that thrives and exceeds expectations requires balancing technical proficiency with cultural fit. The key is finding the right mix between deep Python expertise and alignment on work ethics. Once you've assembled a high-performing team, continued success depends on how you nurture those relationships and adapt your methods as the technology landscape evolves. If you'd like to learn more about software development, AI, cloud, data engineering, and digital transformation, visit us at softeller.com.